Boy, isn't that a good looking old tractor. Look at that old gal. Isn't she pretty? Oh my, well, looks like I got a car coming, so we'll talk for just a minute. I'm going to take you for my last ride in the old John Deere 4555 tractor. I've had this tractor for about 15 years, I believe. And, it's been my main baler tractor. I think it's about, what was like, there, I can adjust it. I think it's like 172 engine horses, so it's pretty good power on the baler, pretty torquey, you know. It has a 15-speed power shift, John Deere. Pretty good old tractor, but not like, you know, just like me, we're all getting older. When I purchased my newer tractor this spring, the 8285R, I made the decision. I thought, well, gosh, you know, when I was weighing everything out, this old gal's paid for. I could have just left it hooked on the baler and used it just for baling, but I thought, well, gosh, there's no, the 8285 is capable of baling also. In fact, it's much more capable. And so I made the decision I was going to sell this tractor. That's the best thing I ever done, was looking at that newer tractor on the baler. It's like where this has 172 engine horse, that has 285 horse, and so it just runs the baler so much smoother. It just never pulls harder lugs at all, and and it also has that IDT transmission, so it's you got infinite speeds at the fingertip. Never a problem. In fact, there is the old gal sitting right there. I'm gonna try to fix the shed down here and get that baler in there under the shed before we get too much more winter. Hopefully, that's my intention. Anyway, it took me till fall, till like this spring, I removed the hood off the tractor with intentions of repainting it, as it had some rust on the hood there. I just wanted to spiff it up, make it look a little nicer. But I was so busy all summer. It took me clear till fall. I finally got time to paint it a month or two ago and get it all cleaned up. I serviced it, all the filters, fluids, air filter, everything, and cleaned it out inside, cleaned all the windows, armor all ready to go to work. Then I listed it for sale on, we have like a local service here, well, in Utah. It's called a KSL. KSL Classified. So it's a free service. So I listed it on the KSL just 30 days ago, and I've had 3 contacts, and 2 of them were mostly by text, and the other one was text and calling. But anyway, you can see what the nice little job I done on the paint job. I didn't paint the whole tractor because that's a lot of work. I just decided to do the hood, so I did the hood and the side covers, front weights, battery box, and then I just kind of, I think I waxed the side of the fenders a little bit and cleaned up the cab. I didn't paint anything on the back because it, you know, it's not in too bad a shape. But anyway, two of the guys that you know, I it's interesting when you list something for sale like that, then you'll have people that'll contact you, and they'll say, well, what would you take for it, you know? Well, I surely would take the amount that I had it listed for, you know that. But anyway, there's one guy that called me, and he was an older gentleman. He says, well, my tax man told me that I need to buy something because I'm not about to pay taxes, you know. And then he wanted to know, well, what would you take for it? And I says, well, you know, I says, I've always felt that if a person wasn't able to put forth enough effort to even come and look at it, I just figured they're not a serious buyer. So if they won't put forth that effort, of course I'm not going to negotiate on price. So it's kind of annoying, you know. But so anyway, when I bought I traded my my little Massey in this year. I'd run it for 2 years, so traded it, traded up to the same model, and it, oh, that's been a month ago or so too. When I got that, then I talked to my dealer, and I says, hey, take a look at the old John Deere, you know, and anyway, so he snapped some photos. He said that he would list it for me. Okay, now I listed the price on this tractor at $39,000. I looked, they have a website called Tractor House. Like most of the tractors on there were like in the 40s and even in the 50s. They had higher hours. So, and those mounts might be inflated or whatever. So I just kind of hit like a middle of the road type price, and thought $39,000, and I can come up, or I can relieve that a bit if someone's really interested, you know. So it's paid for. I don't have to sell it, but there's no sense keeping it sitting around. So that money could be used elsewhere. To, you know, we could just throw it on some of our other debt, you know, from the pivots or whatever. So anyway, the dealer finally got back. I had a guy yesterday that he wanted more pictures. I sent him more pictures, and then his last text was, well, what would you take for it? So I didn't even respond. So, and this morning, dealer calls me, says, hey, I got a guy that's interested in that tractor, you know, and he says, I've looked at he says in the book, the retail in the book, which is, you know, just a guide, so it was like they listed for $27,000. He says, I think that thing should be worth 35, 38. I says, okay, go for it. Anyway, he called me, and says, well, they'd go 35, and I says, well, I'll do it. Let's do her. So anyway, that's my last ride. There's the old gal. Goodbye. Well, I had to stop the camera. I had a phone call. Anyway, it was the dealer. He's on his way, and that customer's on his way with his semi. They're going to come and get it. So goodbye to the old gal. You know what? I feel really good about using a dealer to sell it, because they don't charge very much. They only charge like 5%, and it's worth that. Because let me explain it to you this way. This is something I learned years ago. Say you're in the livestock business. Say, as an example, you have cattle. Okay, you've got some steers to sell. Your neighbor, he wants to buy some steers. He's looking for them. He needs them. He's right there. You wouldn't have to haul them anywhere. You wouldn't have to pay a commission. Okay, what happens? If you sell them to your dealer, to your neighbor, how do you arrive at the price? Okay, well, you look around here, you go visit the sale, and you look online, you talk to so-and-so, and they says, well, about this much, and he's thinking about this much. And so if you sell them, if you agree upon a price and you sell them to him, in the back of your mind, you're always going to think, you know, I think I could have got a little more out of them. And he's going to think, you know, I think I could have bought them a little cheaper. Okay, do it the other way. Take them to the auction. You might have to pay the auction commission, but you're going to get the most that you could get out of that livestock on that day. Because when you got people raising their hand bidding, goes to the highest bidder. That's the highest bid of the day. So it's kind of like, you know, if you sell, have the dealer help you sell it, they're gonna, if it's their customer, they're gonna respect his integrity, that this is a good machine and that it's a reasonable price. And so the buyer's gonna be happy, seller's gonna be happy, the dealer's gonna be happy. So anyway, that's my story. Goodbye, old gal. Goodbye, old 4555. You've been a good old tractor.